Good evening. We're live and we're back again. We don't stop, we don't quit. I'm Z, and you're listening to the Bryant Consultant Show. We're on season 1, episode 5. Tonight we'll be talking about current events. We're going to go over the VA loan program. Also, we're going to go over Dr. Sampson's cell phone technology. Constitutional gun carry in Texas. That's a hot topic. Environmental problems and solutions. We're going to also go over the Chauvin trial. The lawyer asked for a new trial after the guilty verdict. So that's one hot topic we're going to have to go over. We couldn't miss talking about. And then we're also going to go over the Floyd Mayweather fight that's going to be coming up June 6th, 2021. All right. My co-host, Mr. Bright, will be moderating the show with me tonight. How are you doing today, Mr. Bright?
Oh, how you doing? How you doing? How's everybody going?
It's a pleasure to have you on the show as always, and I appreciate you taking the time to participate in the show today. Someone in the world may be motivated or inspired by your story or my story today. So once again, thank you. At Bryant Bright Consulting, we are all about the people in the world and assisting others with obtaining their personal life and their company goals and getting on the path to greatness. Our motto here is you are the CEO of your own life. So start making decisions today that will drive the vision you've always dreamed of. Improve, innovate, sustain, and just live your best life. All right, so
Sounds
we're going to
good.
go ahead and get started. What was that, Mr. Bright?
Yeah, it's me, Rodney Bright of Brian Bright Consultants. I'm the youth mentor and life coach for BBC LLC. How may I serve you guys?
All right. What we're going to do is we're going to start off like we always do. We're going to go into some would you rather questions. So, Mr. Bright, excuse me. The first would you rather question would be would you rather be the absolute best at something that no one takes seriously or be average at something well respected?
I would like to be the absolute best at something that someone doesn't take seriously because that might be the diamond in the rough. That might be the trigger. It just takes one person to start a movement, and it seems like everybody will follow. So I'd rather be that one person to start the movement. Diamond in the rough. Maybe the movement is toward correcting something that we all need or something, and everybody's
Mm-hmm.
oblivious to it or something. So I'd rather be that person.
Okay. And I would have to say that, hmm, I would rather be absolutely the best at something that no one takes seriously because I really believe in people having their own personal success and their personal goals and dreams that it doesn't matter if anyone takes it serious or not, as long as you're happy and you're happy with the outcome and you set out to accomplish that dream or goal and accomplish it and you're happy about it. So I would rather be absolutely the best at something that I'd be happy about being the best at than worrying about what, you know, being average at something that's well respected. Because when it's your dream and goal and you want to do that, it's like it really doesn't matter about other people's opinions or what they have to think about what you want to do with your life and your dreams and goals. So it's really not about respect, you know. It's
Hmm.
about you being happy, yeah, and you accomplishing something that you always want to accomplish in your life, and you making that dream and goal come true. You understand?
That's yeah. That sounds good. Sounds fair.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah. To piggyback off of that, there's so many things that I see at this point in my life. like I'm awakening up and I see things that need to be fixed, or things that are wrong, or things that I've taken for granted, and I think it just take one person to change. It takes a good social worker to do the job for you, a good gym teacher to do the job for you, and just one person. Not everybody's going to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that one person. Many are called, but only few are chosen. So I want to be that one person that's chosen.
I heard that. So moving on to the next question. Would you rather solve world hunger or global warming?
Oh, me? Well, I would rather solve global warming, and I would like to solve global warming because uh, that'll just take care of everything. If I solve that, that means the Earth will go back to its natural state and um, start being contributive again. Start putting everything back in its natural habitat. Start growing again. Everything is in its right order. Nothing's overheating. Nothing is being frozen. So yes, I would like to. Yeah, I would like to choose. What's it? Global warming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
World hunger or global
global
warming?
warming. Global warming. That's what I would like to choose.
Okay, for that one, I would have to say, hmm, I think world hunger. I would have to say world hunger because
Hmm.
there are kids and people hungry all over the world, not just in third world countries. And global warming is just one of those things that's inevitable. There's nothing we can do about it. It's nature just taking its place. Um,
Mm.
because we're here and we're doing things that's affecting the environment. Um, so with us being here and living here and doing things that's affecting the environment, it's bound to happen. So I would rather serve world hunger because we're here right now in the moment, in the present, and I think that we should do what we can do while we're here because all the global warming and stuff is like it's nothing that we can reverse. It's nothing that we can stop at this point. So world hunger. I'd make sure everybody have food and eat good and enjoy themselves and have a wonderful time while we're still here living life. Yeah.
Right. That sounds good. We only have 100 years or less, so by the time
Might
you
as
take
well eat good, huh?
might yeah, by the time you fix global warming, that'll be a couple of hundred to 1,000 years from now. It's gonna take a long time to get this Earth back the way it was in the caveman days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we too far gone.
Mm-hmm. So those are the would you rather questions that we did for today, and I'm gonna go ahead and move forward to our first topic that we're gonna speak about tonight.
All right.
Okay, one moment, let me pull it up. And feel free to talk about this topic and, as a co host, speak your 2 cents on it, and like we
I
usually
sure
do.
will. I sure will.
Let me see here. Okay.
What's the topic?
So, the first thing I'm going to go over is the VAIRRRL. And what the VAIRRRL means is the interest rate reduction refinance loan.
Mm.
So basically, if you're a veteran and you have a home and you have a VA loan, um, and you are interested in reducing your monthly mortgage payments, or you want to make your payments more stable and get a lower interest rate, you have the opportunity to at this time. So, best thing for you to do is to contact your VA backed home loan provider, so you can go over eligibility and see if you can possibly take advantage of that.
Mm, that sounds good.
So I want to
Um,
talk about that because recently I actually got a phone call from our home loan provider, and they asked, was I interested in the program? So that's why I wanted to talk about that and let people know about it, and let them know that it is a great program out there if you have a VA home loan, and it's a good time to get a lower interest rate.
Great. That sounds good. Will it change my fixed uh, uh, mortgage payment annually? Will it lower it? Not lower it. Will it give me less
It
time
could
to pay for it?
possibly lower it. You could possibly get a lower interest rate. That's why I say if you have a VA home loan, contact your loan provider and find out what options you have as a VA home loan owner, um,
Mm-hmm.
and see what they could possibly do for you because at this time, it's one of the opportunities to take advantage of the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loan. So reducing that may help you um, with your monthly payments for your home. So I'm just
That's
mentioning that because, like I said, recently my one of my mortgage loan holders contacted me about taking advantage of this program and getting a lower monthly rate and a lower interest rate. So I just want to let others know about that
mm-hmm.
interest
Yeah.
rate reduction refinance loan program. Mhm.
It sounds like a good plan if you get your interest rate reducted, and maybe you can what have a less payment,
Mhm.
and your monthly or annually payment doesn't change. Doesn't extend out to ten, another 5 or 10 years. Then that'll be
Mhm.
beneficial for yourself, for me.
Mhm.
That's what I would inquire about. I would talk to those people and see if everything will be coming in my favor.
Mhm.
Uh, so the loan won't be extended out, and so I won't have to pay more just because I'm getting a reduction. Because if I'm still paying and the loan is extended out, I might not consider to want that.
Mhm.
But
So yep. So
yes,
make sure you contact your
for sure.
VA home loan owner. Your loan company that manages your loans, and ask them about that program. It's the
That's
interest rate reduction refinance loan. Okay.
sounds good. A closed mouth don't get fed. Check it out.
That's right. If you ask not, you what?
That's not you have not.
That's right. All right. Hopefully, people get to take advantage of that opportunity. I'm going to actually go ahead and move forward to the next topic, which will be about Dr. Sampson Jr. So I'm going to go ahead and let you tell us about that. Let me get
Okay.
his
Well,
biography pulled
this
up. Okay.
topic, Dr. Henry Thompson Sampson. That's his name, Dr. Henry Thompson Sampson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Let me give you a brief history of this guy here. He has tremendously stuff to do with the cell phone. And Dr. Henry Thompson Sampson Jr. was born in Jackson, Mississippi. He was a Navy veteran. Who?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say in the
Who?
Army and Navy. And then he was a Navy veteran. So welcome aboard, Port Side. That's what they say in the Navy. He Dr. Henry Thompson Sampson, he began at Morehouse College in 1951, and in 1967 he earned his PhD in nuclear engineering, the first black to receive his degree in the United States. I'm sure that everyone, you, myself, we have a cell phone on us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he co-invented the gamma electric cell in 1971 with George H. Miley, wink wink, which is a big first step, a major contributor to the development of cell phones into wireless communication, which converts nuclear radiation into electricity, which was a needed and vital component to the growth of cellular phones. And because of that usage, because of the gamma electrical cell, it made it possible to wirelessly send and receive audio signals through radio waves. That makes the cell phone most efficient,
Mm-hmm.
better, and more modern.
Okay.
So that was a big step in the engineering of the cell phone, even though he didn't actually make it, but what he had contributed tremendously to making that cell phone.
Hmm.
And we have him to thank, for text, texting, TikTok, when we get and receive messages. We have him to thank for that. Also, we have some pros and cons with cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
And would you what do you think are some pros of cell phone? Because the cons, I know like cons are the bad stuff. So what are the good things would you consider about the cell phone?
I think good things about cell phones are being able to communicate anywhere in the world and having access to internet and pretty much everything thing that you could possibly think of. Excuse me, at the palm in the
You're
palm of
right.
your hands. Music,
That's right.
movies, entertainment. You can call and talk to someone. You can
Mm,
FaceTime video. You can record videos. You can take pictures. It's just so much in the palm of
you're
your
right.
hands. But
You're
I
right.
also know there's some cons, and one that I know particular is just the addiction of it with the apps and social media and just the radiation from the technology because it's a cellular technology is a microwavable technology. It comes from towers, and they use microwave technology, which has radiation to run those devices. So that can be
Mm-hmm.
a con. And then they tell you about that though. There's warnings when you have cell phones. They give you warnings about radiation and they say, hey, don't put it up to your ear and, talk with a headset or put it down and put it on speakerphone and talk on it instead of having it close to your body in your pocket so you won't be affected by the radiation. So there's positives, but there's negatives. But I think that's pretty much what everything, in life. There's something positive and there's always something negative.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, that's a good con right there. You're right. That's one of the major ones. Let me give you some pros right quick then. Some pros, just some minimum pros that's convenient for us, for everybody. Because
Okay.
everybody has a cell phone. You can't deny that.
Oh yeah.
Safety is a pro. Safety. I would say usage of cell phones to track your children. Like when they're in school, you can track your children. You don't have to call the school and tell the teacher, "Oh, hold my child to the side," and nothing like that. You can just call your kid on the cell phone that you give them and let them know that you will meet them outside and communicate that way. That is a safety pros part of having a cell phone.
Okay.
And another one would be convenience. Like I just said, no need to call the school anymore. Your child can just pick up the phone and meet you outside. Um, you can track your child, through apps. Well, that's back to safety. So I add that with safety. You can track your child to know where they're at, to be safe. Like if they're at home, they're at home, or if they're out with a friend, where they're at. They can contact you, you can contact them. That's a safety measure. Because back in the day, you had landlines, and you had no
Oh
way
yeah, I
to,
remember that.
yeah, you had no way to contact your family members, or you had pay phones back in the day.
Oh
You
yeah, I
had to
remember
wait on the
that
line
too.
probably. Yeah, that was back in the day there.
I don't
And
miss the
and another,
payphone because you had to have a quarter to put in there to make a
yeah,
call, and it only lasts for so long, depending on where you're calling, because it can be a long distance call or something, or you have to call collect. I remember that, and I
and
remember
you
having the
know,
phone at home and then having to wait to get home to make a call.
yeah, and you could be waiting in the line at the telephone booth also.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And like you said, at home, yeah, only one person can be on the phone at a time at home before they got the two-way.
Hmm.
Like you said, you have to wait for the other person to get off the phone. So yeah. And another pro could be cost. I remember they had a lot of free phones out there. You drive around, you see a lot of cricket free phones. So you
Hmm.
probably get a free phone for your child, or pay us a minimum amount. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money for a child phone. And so the cost, that's a pro. And you said a
Hmm.
con, uh, yeah. Another con could be yeah, like you said, screen cyberbullying. That could be a con. If your children's are on a cell phone, you have to monitor them, or monitor
Hmm.
their time spending on the phone, because
Yeah,
somebody could be bullying them, a schoolmate or anybody.
yeah,
Cyberbullying. I heard about that.
yeah.
And so you have to so I assume you have to put parental controls on the cell phone for the kids.
Hmm.
Yep, and that'll come in to limit the amount of screen time they can use. That will limits which apps and website they can use. So therefore, it create a safe list of cell phone numbers for them, and they can receive calls or make calls, and to to you, and you can manage their data talk.
Hmm.
You can manage their text usage, because after all, I'm sure you're gonna be paying for the bill for your child, so you
Hmm.
don't want to have an outrageous bill coming from your children. So you want to monitor that.
Oh yeah.
Because they will be on your plan, and so yeah, you put those parental controls on the games they play, videos they watch. You don't want them watching nothing that's not conducive to their learning or their growth. And yeah, those things like that. Um, it was this article that came in from San Francisco. They said, they were saying that you may think that what you was talking about before. So you may think that the cell phone is a game or a flashlight, or just a social media app. But that app can access anything. It could
Hmm.
turn, it could turn on your audio, or it can turn on your audio. Uh, it can do that even when you're not using the phone. You said that. And it
Hmm.
can turn on your front and back cameras to take pictures or videos.
Hmm.
Uh, yep, and it's with you all the time. So it's really, like you were saying, it's really the perfect spy tool.
Oh yeah, you just like you said in the beginning, you want to track your children, you can track your children, but not just your children, but anybody can be tracked, because they're all connected to the satellite, so
Right. And I'm
and the
sure
cell phone
those,
towers. Hmm.
yeah. hmm I'm sure those companies do want your information, and there's a lot.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of money in the personal information of people.
Well,
That
they use it for
apps.
marketing and advertisement also. So, of course, our
Hmm.
information and is big money.
I think it's the new oil for companies, apps and stuff.
Hmm.
You can get a lot of free information. Cause like I say, the camera can work without even you having the phone on. It can hear you and all that stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yep, and plus they have your phone numbers, they have your locations. To be able to pick you up in an emergency and stuff like that. It seems like the price tag gets bigger and bigger.
Hmm.
So I figure probably the most concern for people would be like, how long they're going to keep my information. you know, uh, what's going to happen to my data when my phone is old, and
Oh yeah,
regular.
that's what people worry about all the time. That's one of the topics that is very
Yeah.
controversial, and people are very interested in when they're getting into apps and social media sites and cell phone services and cell phones. So people want their information to be safe and protected. They don't want it to be sold and just given away to anybody and everybody for whatever price they give them. So
Hmm.
it makes sense that privacy is a big issue and something that we are always talking about. Yeah. And we're never going to
Hmm.
stop talking about it because it's always an issue.
Right, and then people probably want to know, when can we delete these messages in the future? you know, because nobody want their business out there forever.
Well, when it's
Yeah.
on the internet, it's on the internet. You have to find a way to get it removed.
Right. So I think a remedy for that. Uh, what what you think a remedy would be for that? Can we fix that?
I think that it's an ongoing problem that as society we're going to have to continue to work on and figure out ways to resolve that issue because at this point, I mean, with pretty much with everything that you're getting involved in, internet, cell phones, wireless technology, there's some kind of way, even with social media, you're, agreeing for people to have your information. And with that, then of course your privacy goes out the window. So, what do you
Hmm.
think? Because I think it's
I
just an
think that,
ongoing thing that needs to be worked on.
yeah. I think so too. It's an ongoing thing that needs to be worked on, and so therefore we just need to just do something simple. Just think before we install. And so you got to police your own self. Think before you install. Just don't go crazy with it. And like you say, we got to fix our own self with that. You know.
All right. Well, I'm going to move to the next topic, which is going to be a very exciting one.
But I remember, I know you was showing me how you turn off certain things in your phone. That's a good idea too. You know, to turn off your camera, turn off your microphone, turn off your identity, uh, to try to
Well,
control
the
what
thing
information
is,
that you're giving out.
before we go to the next topic, is when you have a smartphone, there's just no
Hmm.
privacy in that. Now,
Hmm.
if you don't want all that going on within your device, go back to a regular flip phone, and that'll cut everything.
Hmm. Right.
Get
So you
rid
got to
of
control your own self
privacy.
with it.
Go back to a
So
regular
if you
flip
want to
phone.
have
You won't
that
have all the extra
smartphone,
technology. You won't
right?
have a good camera. You won't be able to make high um, quality videos. You won't be able to browse the internet. You'll still be able to call and text though, and you'll be able to take
Mm-hmm.
pictures. There'll just be low quality. If you don't mind those things being taken away from you, then hey, like I said, just go to an old flip phone.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then otherwise, you on a smartphone, you just have to manage it yourself and do some housekeeping or get rid of the apps you don't use anymore. And
The thing is it's
because
not
some
as
of them apps
simple
that you
as
don't use.
getting rid of apps. You have to get rid of the phone. The whole device
Oh,
is smart.
that means it'll
That's
be
what I call it, a
app will be
smartphone.
there. It means the app will still be there collecting data from you,
That means
even
that
if it's not used.
anybody, any cell phone provider or iOS,
Gotcha.
Android, any cell phone with a platform, Microsoft, no
Right.
matter what it is,
Mm-hmm.
that's just the way that goes. And majority of
Right.
people know that. And
Mm-hmm.
they sacrifice their information and privacy for the luxury of a smartphone and to the new technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the next topic, we're gonna go over constitutional carry and about the
Okay.
Texas Senate okaying the bill, and it's dropping a permit to carry a handgun in public. And I know that's a lot of people that love guns dream come true.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So basically, Texas would allow people to carry a handgun without a license, and the background check and the training that goes along with it under a measure given preliminary approval by the state of Texas, the Senate on Wednesday, last Wednesday. So Texas already has some of the loosest gun laws in the country and has more than 1.6 million handguns license owners. Wow. So lawmakers, have reduced classroom and shooting range training requirements over the last decade, but they had been reluctant to eliminate the license requirement altogether. So that actually changed over the last past few weeks with the push from the right wing of legislature's Republican majority over the objections of law enforcement and gun control groups. So if it becomes law, Texas would join nearly 2 dozen states that allow some form of unregulated carry of handguns, but it would be the most popular state so far that have enacted that law.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you
Yeah.
think about that? Texas already allows rifles to be carried in public without a license. So basically, the proposed bill would allow anyone 21 or older to carry a handgun and provided if they had no violent crimes, convictions, or some legal prohibitions in their background. But there would be no way to basically weed out without the state background checks. So it won't be any of those background checks or anything anymore. It just be you'll be able to get a gun and carry it without even having to go through training or going to the range or being registered anymore. So it gets rid of all of that. What do you think about
Wow.
that, Mr. Bright?
I like it, but I think people should be trained on it somehow first, though. You can't get it
Mm-hmm.
unless you got to put a stipulation that you got to go through so many hours of training.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I like that part of having it, but I don't like the part of not being able to train. You have to have a card or something. You got to put that on there. Because you don't know how to use it, you end up shooting yourself,
Mm-hmm.
or shooting your baby, or shooting your children or something. So I think they should put a measurement of training on that.
Mhm.
Because
So basically, don't remove the training. I agree with that. I wouldn't want to remove the
yeah.
training. And I know the importance of the gun range and training classes and learning the basics on how to use a gun and clean a gun and properly how to handle a gun. That is so important. But it's
Mm.
the licenses and all that stuff, even if there's a license or not, people still are gonna have guns, because it's just how people are, especially
Right.
gun lovers. But I know you as
Yeah,
a
I love
person that
gun lover.
trained people on how to use guns and all that stuff. You have years of experience of working on weapons and stuff like that. So it's a pleasure and a privilege to get your opinion on a topic like this because I know you are a person that's passionate about guns and weapons and stuff because you did that in your military career for the U.S. Army. So
Yeah, that's correct. To own a gun, you have to be responsible. So therefore, you have to know how to. You have to be able to know how to operate it. Because you as the operator, you be able to operate, do everything necessary you need to do. And if it get broken or anything, then you ship it to uh, a place that can fix it for you, some organization, a place that can fix it for you. But you have to have that knowledge before having a gun. If they just give it rampant to anyone, then that's not going to work. So you got to have that knowledge because you want to
that's
make
true.
people. You have to educate folks, and people
Yeah.
don't want to be educated, but it has to be a must. Or you go or send them straight to jail or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, you have to. You have to be mindful of it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because different eras of life. Back in ancient times, you carried a knife, and so these days you carry a cell phone. Now they want to make where you carry a gun, but you just got to be responsible with those things and be conscious about them. And that's what's wrong
Yeah.
with our folks. We are not conscious. We want to do everything we want. We want to do anything we want, anything we want to do in the world. But we have to have laws. That's why we have to have laws. Because we can't do everything we want. You know,
I
so
can understand
you
that
have
it
to
has
have
to
some
be
law.
some type of control there. And I know some people have an issue about this because they feel that, crime rates is going to go up and things are going to get worse and all this crazy stuff is going to happen, because everyone's going to be able to have a
I,
weapon
I,
without
I
a license
disagree.
and
I,
background checks. But I see that
right,
all this stuff is happening
right,
already and this change
I,
hasn't even been enacted yet.
right. Yeah, I think it'd be the same way. Um, it just give the innocent people a chance to carry the guns, cause the criminals already carry guns, you know, concealed and stuff. It's the
Oh,
innocent folks
yeah.
who they're trying to abide by the law and you know don't carry the guns, nothing like that. And yeah, I think everybody should have a gun. That's how it was back in the day. Everybody back in the country, they had a shotgun behind the door.
Oh, yeah.
You just got to be conscious yourself. We can't be letting people off the hook anymore.
Hmm.
Um, got to put a law
You
down.
just have to watch your back and be careful no matter who you are nowadays, because it's just rough out there in those streets. I tell you, everybody have guns.
And it probably won't make a difference. You can't get to your gun that quick. You don't have eyes in the back of your head, so you can still get caught slipping. You got to know how to use the gun. You got to know how to you know properly store it and all that. You just got it for self defense. You're not trying to go out and be proactive with it. You know, you're not trying to go be on the offensive with it. You just want to use it for self defense. It's necessary. And you got to be responsible and know that you own that bullet. So wherever it goes,
Hmm.
you own that bullet. So the criminals still gonna be criminals, and they still gonna shoot out randomly and wildly. So you'll just be protecting yourself, and you still gotta adhere to all the rules of humankind, and what morality we got left. You can't just I got a gun and go wild. Shoot them up, bang bang. Turn into the wild
Hmm.
wild west. They're just gonna hasten the end of our world, with everything else going on.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to move on over into our next topic. And
Okay.
Let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and play a portion of this. So let me know when I need to stop. Okay.
Okay.
And this is gonna
Okay.
be about environmental problems and cultural solutions. And my co-host, Mr. Bright, is gonna go over that with us today. Here we go.
Okay.
This image of the Cuyahoga River on fire in northern Ohio became an icon of sorts of the environmental movement. It caught fire 15 times by 1969. After that, in the first Earth Day in 1970, some really great things happened for environmental protection. Congress passed the Clean Water Act, the Safe Drinking Water Act, the Clean Air Act, the National Environmental Policy Act, the Endangered Species Act, and many others. They also established the Environmental Protection Agency, all of that during a Republican administration. Those pieces of legislation did some great things for our environment and environmental protection. But they picked what I might call the low-hanging fruit. I'll let you know a little secret. Scientifically, it's pretty darn easy to fix a river that catches on fire. Stop pouring gasoline on it.
Okay.
The
Stop
environmental
right there.
problems facing humanity today are much more complicated, much more.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Bright.
Yeah. He said that the river was on fire, and he said that they put all these regulations in place to have against that, to defend against that. But the real thing, he said that they were fixing the low hanging fruit. But the real
Mm-hmm.
problem is stop putting chemicals inside of the water, inside the ocean. And that has to do with chemicals, oil spills, stuff that's been put in the ocean from lazy folks or industrialism, putting stuff in the water. And they all doing that because they're trying to make us live convenient,
Mm-hmm.
make us, uh, just make us live comfortable. And
Mm-hmm.
also, they make money in the process.
Okay.
But yeah, so I feel that he was right. You need to just stop putting the oil and the messed up stuff into the water, and that's going to take a long time to fix that problem. And they just want to make life convenient. See, back in the day, we didn't have water bottles and stuff. We had glass bottles. We ate out of glass bottles. We didn't have plastic bags. We had paper bags. But just to make people more convenient or make things convenient for them, they want to use plastic and water, plastic bottles and stuff, and all that stuff's probably hurt the sea life and stuff. So yeah, so also just in this country, we are notorious for producing excessive waste and garbage and dumping that waste in the ocean and it's just we just tremendous we just excessive with that. We got a habit of that. And like I said, back in the day, we didn't have plastics.
Mm-hmm.
And also fast foods and stuff. We eat fast foods and it takes five. You go by at the fast food window. It takes about 5 minutes to eat it. You take your wrapper and just throw it down. Throw it in the water. And if you throw it on the ground, it'll sweep into the water system or sweep down the drain. But we don't think about that. That's messing with our system of living, our ecosystem. We're filling up the planet with dirt and stuff and garbage. Not to mention human waste and stuff like that.
Mm.
Cheap, cheap electronics waste. Uh, Everything goes down the drain. We don't think about that. Who's going to clean that stuff out?
Yeah, because we do have a lot of trash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And tell you.
I'd be
So
shocked
it's
about how much trash we go through on a weekly basis, like bags of trash.
mm-hmm. Yep. We the overconsumption of our resources in the creation of plastics are creating a global crisis. A waste disposal creating a global waste crisis. So yeah, it's bad, and we need to. So it seems like as an individual, what we need to do is just stop. I don't know. It's big. I don't know if it'll ever stop, but we need to stop buying plastic. Plastic bag. You go to the grocery store. They say plastic or paper. Buy paper. You go to your store to get your receipt. Don't take a receipt. Just no thanks. Save some trees.
Are you sure you want? Oh, are you sure people would want to buy paper because you still have to recycle that? So
Yeah,
you know,
but the
like how
plastic.
they do in California. You have your own bags. You bring your own bags. You recycle.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Bring your own
Then you
bag.
don't have to use plastic. Then you don't have to use paper. That's you know better for the
Cause
environment.
paper is better than plastic because plastic you can't even get rid of it.
That's
You can't.
so true. It's not biodegradable.
Right, we can't get rid of the plastic. So that's a good idea. You said we need to bring our own bags. And there'll be like cloth bags and stuff. The kind that they sell you in California for 20 cents. But yeah,
Mm.
you bring your own bag and fill it like that. They do that overseas. Last time I checked,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, they bring their own bags. They don't sell bags or anything like that. You bring your own. You have your own little fruit basket when you go to the farmers market. That's what they do over there, and they don't use plastic overseas. They use bottles, and that's what we need to uh, uh, start doing. We
You mean
used to do
glass
it.
bottles?
Glass, yes, you use
Yeah.
glass bottle, all
Mm.
glass, no plastic at all.
Wow. What
That's how they
country
do
is
it.
this?
Germany,
Oh, okay.
I believe. France and well, I know Germany for sure. I believe France
Hmm.
and everybody else too. They use glass bottles instead of plastic.
Oh, okay.
We the only one that uses well, probably England too. England and us plastic bottles and stuff. But
Hmm.
Germany for sure uses glass bottles. Yeah, and also Germany is a very clean place over there too. You don't see no beer tops or bottle tops on the ground, nothing like that.
Hmm.
hmm Yes, but yeah. So for remedy for that, yeah, we just got to start um, using paper. Don't use bottles, plastic bottles. Get away from it. Don't just individually. Don't go to the store. Don't buy any plastic anymore. I know it'd be hard to do, but we can't get rid of the plastic. I'm sure if everybody or one individual start doing that, it'll help a little bit. If everybody start doing it, we probably can decrease some of these pollutions and stuff, contaminants, waste
Hmm.
contaminants and stuff.
I think that's a work in progress thing for us too because we have a lot of trash.
And like I
It's
say,
like,
Germany does it,
wow.
so it can be done.
Hmm. But we have a trash problem in our country, and it's because
Conveniency,
we're purchasing things from the grocery stores and stuff. I mean, if we were growing our fruits and vegetables and getting our eggs from our own personal chicken coop and things like that, then we wouldn't have so much
and
waste.
that's
You know.
yep, and that's the way it's supposed to be because that's how it was back in ancient times in the U.S. You go to the farmers market or you grow your own food. all this technology came up with conveniency. Now you get Amazon delivered to your door, and you just let your fingers do the walking or
Pretty
on the
much.
computer, and Amazon
The
comes
fingers do
down.
the walking, let the fingers do the talking.
Yeah, and everybody guilty of it. The stuff that we order comes to us in plastic bottles or whatever,
Hmm.
and same time you got fuel emissions coming from these semi trucks and stuff polluting the air too. So we need to cut some of that stuff out. See, we didn't have that back in the old days. Things were slower. See, they want things to be much faster now, so people can get paid and you can be comfortable. Not not being aware of the consequences in the future. Yeah,
I'm
because
gonna go ahead and move into our next topic.
okay,
Thank you, Mr. Bright, for your great insight on environment and sustainability and just all of us working to sustain our planet Earth and have a place to stay and not continue to destroy it, by being careless with
right, and
plastics and, bags and glass instead of plastics. So
hmm
thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, we all need to be conscious of it, and we can do it. We just everybody want conveniency, and uh, people want to deliver things to us so we can purchase, but nobody's caring about our Earth.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And if anybody should care, we should care. It's our home. It's
hmm
where we live. So thank you so much again
yeah, that's
for
right.
going over the topic of the environmental problems and issues that we currently have and finding solutions and ways to fix this so we can enjoy our home longer and continue to
I
enjoy
think
it.
yeah, I think I remember seeing some about back in 1971. They had a council on cigarettes. Who was that manufacturer? Make them cigarettes?
Was it Camel?
Huh?
Was it Camel?
Uh, no, the main people that make the cigarettes.
Marlboro?
They got the one. They got the warning on the back of the label, Surgeon General,
Well,
saying
all
tobacco is bad
cigarettes
for
and
you.
cigars and all those tobacco
Oh,
products have that.
okay. Yeah, you're right. So, well, before that, right? Before that, they had a panel, right? And the panel said that they asked everybody, "Is cigarettes or nicotine bad for you?" And all the people on the panel said, "No, the cigarettes and the nicotine is not bad for you." And then, come years later, that's when they came out with the Surgeon General label that put on the pack of all the cigarettes and stuff like that. So that was a lie, you know.
What?
Yeah, yeah, I can find it. It's real. It was a panel. I have to look it up, but yeah, yeah. All of them said. I have to find that link for you. All of them said, no, it's not a problem. No, it's not a problem.
Oh, I don't think they have that anymore.
Well,
Well, I
that's when
know
after that,
they prove,
after
there's a warning for pregnant women on there for sure, but I don't know about.
well after that, that's when they came up with the Surgeon General, like 8 years later, or something like that, or 4 years later, or something. Yeah, and yeah, we it starts with us individually because
That's true.
every, everybody else is trying to make money. They don't care about it. They just want to
Hmm.
push their product, make some money, get it out to the consumers real quick. So we individually, we just have to stop using those products and think about our own family.
Hmm.
And then look at the other model nations. Like I said, Germany does that. Uh, Regardless of why they do it, it's still more healthy for their economy. And I'm sure a lot of other nations do that. They don't have the poor third world countries. They don't have money, so they, still use glass bottles or something like that. Yep. So,
All right. I'm moving to the next topic, which is
oh,
going to
okay.
be the Derek Chauvin's lawyer asked for a new trial after the guilty verdict. Oh, wow. I can't believe this one. So basically, the lawyer for the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd filed a motion on May 4th, 2021, last Tuesday, asking for a new trial on several grounds, including jury misconduct. The lawyer Eric Nelson said that his client, Derek Chauvin, did not receive a fair trial for several reasons, including the judge's decision to not sequester the jury during the trial, to not change the location of the proceedings, and to not grant a new trial because of publicity that included the imitation of the defense's expert witnesses. So Mr. Nelson also wrote that the jury committed misconduct. They felt the pressure during the proceedings and or failed to adhere to instructions during deliberations. So there was no detailed arguments provided in the motion, which was expected and it's a common step following a criminal conviction, but it remains to be seen how effective any of the arguments will be because the courts have set a high bar for overturning jury verdicts. Excuse me. So they set a high bar for overturning jury verdicts. So the motion was filed as one of the jurors came under scrutiny, mostly from conservative commentators online for a photo from last year that showed him attending the 57th anniversary of the March on Washington when the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. So before the trial, all potential jurors were required to fill out a questionnaire, and that asked whether they or anyone close to them had participated in a protest about police use of force or police brutality. So Brandon Mitchell, that's the guy on the picture here, the only
Hmm.
juror to speak publicly after convicting Mr. Chauvin, told the Star Tribune, a Minneapolis newspaper, this week that he had answered no to the question, and some conservatives had seized on the revelation as a possible reason that the verdict might be overturned because it says, but the legal expert said it was highly unlikely that Mr. Chauvin would win an appeal on that issue. But it was basically Mr. Mitchell here, a juror, that said that he answered no one a question for potential jurors when asked if he had attended any demonstrations or marches against police brutality. And the
Mm.
picture came up that in what he did. So we'll see what happens. What do you think about all that?
I think that well, they always have the appeal process. Uh, we have to know what's coming next after you have initial trial, appeal process, and then you can have. I remember this from the OJ thing. You have appeal process, then you have a civil
Mm-hmm.
case. They can come back and boomerang and get you on one of those after the initial trial. So you have to be try to find out about the law. It just comes back to you have to be conscious. Um, it's obvious that the police was wrong. They had a video of the police having this uh, knee on his neck, so it's obvious. You can see it on the video, but you have to prove it, and you get three chances, as you can see: appeal and a civil case could be after that, and it could go to the Supreme Court. All them folks thereafter could say no after initial yes. So it's stacked against you, in this court of law around here. The odds are stacked against you. And man, you have to be a lawyer yourself running around this, running around the
Most
U.S.
definitely, you have to know the law.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously, they're always watching if they can bring up pictures of him at a protest that he said that he hadn't been involved in that type of thing as a juror before the trial. So things can
Mm-hmm.
pop up after the fact, obviously. And that happens all the time.
And hey, if you have a cell phone, all that tie in there, man, they can track you, and you won't even know it. Uh, and
Oh,
you think
wow. For real.
you think you just going around being innocent, but you are innocent. It's just people can plot against you. You won't even know it. You have to be aware and what's going on, and it's just unfair. Uh, society is like that. The rich get richer and the poor stay poor. So um, I don't know, it's something else. And, they trying to do population control anyway. So we don't want too many people on the planet. It'll drain our resources. So it might be a way to get rid of some people. I don't know. Have to be again individual these days in 2021 and beyond. We have to be conscious. Each person has to be conscious every day of what's going on around them, a little bit at least.
That's
So you
true.
won't get in a predicament like that. If
Hmm.
you don't have your license, you don't have your license. It's possible that you get pulled over. And another thing, they have a gun, so you can't argue against somebody with a gun. You know,
Woo, don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
don't bring a knife to a
Especially
gunfight.
don't bring a cell phone to a gunfight. You're going to get video and pictures, but woo.
Hmm. So if you think you got rights and you try to exercise them, you might end up getting shot. There's a possibility. So what you probably could do is say, hey, look at that officer's name and talk to him and call him by his name, ask him for his badge number, and agree with him, but get all that information for him and just get some intel on him or her instead of being always proactive. Make it work both ways. Like that. Be conscious. That way, when they ask what went on, you have all the details. Well, Officer so and so, badge number 22226, Officer Jones. I even got his license plate number. Get intel on them, man, like a soldier, so you can protect yourself. Because if you calling in for a complaint about somebody's messing with your area, the police come, they'll see you, they might shoot you, thinking you the person that's breaking in. How can you distinguish that?
Hmm.
How can you put a label? Oh, that's the good guy. Oh, that's the bad guy. So you have to be conscious, individually conscious of what's going on. Not saying that none of that. Well, that stuff is unfair, man. It makes you have to step up for your safety. Yeah, and usually the people that are getting killed around here, they're not kingpins. They're not drug lords. They're just innocent people. That's going around trying to get a cigarette or two. You're not doing
It's
anything bad,
crazy. So
but you
much.
want to treat them like a kingpin or something.
It's crazy.
And another thing, people after all these scores and years and decades of the melting pot. It's a shame people don't know how to talk to each other. They should be giving classes on that, some type of psychological classes, so this melting pot people can understand each other. When certain folks raise their voices or lower their voices or something like that. They should give training on that since this going to be a melting pot, so they say. But now they seem like they want you to be against each other in the melting pot.
And that's not good.
Yeah, yeah, that's
We
not
got
good at
we got
all.
to have each other back.
Yeah, because the Lord say, love the Lord and love thy neighbor. You know, um, some people may see that strange. How you gonna love your neighbor? When they evil, or something like that, or you don't like them or something.
That's why
But
they talk about that in the Bible, though. They want you
well,
to love
I
your
think
neighbor because they know how hard it can possibly be.
right. But I think I look at it another way. I think the Lord say, well, the Lord said you can't love the Lord. You can't love what? You can't love the Lord loves everybody. So if you can't love the Lord without loving your neighbor. So to me, that means that your neighbor is. I think it's how you say it, a overused phrase. I think your neighbor is your husband, your wife, your daughter, your children, the
Okay.
cat, the
Anybody
dog,
you
the
got
cat.
directly communicate with and normally see on a daily basis or more than average.
You know what I think also? I think your neighbor is your cat, your dog. I think it's the next. Just saying hi.
Hmm.
Just love. It's just greeting. Your flower pot, your plants. It's just love. Cause God love all that. He made the vegetation. He made the birds. He said love all that. He said love the people next door, but not just the people. It's
Hmm.
it's the plants. It's the flowers. That's what he meant by love thy neighbor. Cause God loved everything. He made everything. With
That's
beauty
right.
and everything. Grows on its own. It don't need clothing to put on the trees. They don't need food. Food comes naturally. So you love that, and this goes in turn with loving your neighbor. I mean, just greeting, hi, hi. That's love for your
Hmm.
neighbor. Because you don't greet your neighbor and be frowning. You're like hi, and you have
Oh
smile,
no.
and then they might smile a little bit. So that's what it means by love thy neighbor. It makes everybody uh, come back to reality and get off their mean streak and smile.
Hmm.
Because we say hi, they're not gonna frown at you. They're gonna say they might be a little hesitant, but they're gonna say hi. So that's what I think it means when it say love thy neighbor. Not literally. I mean, if they make you mad or something like that, if they do something against you, uh, hey, hey, in the Bible I read it says revenge too. So love your family, but the people who step on your neck, revenge. It says it in the Bible. So I'm going by the
Wow.
Bible.
They actually
The Bible
said
says it.
revenge for people that step
Oh
on your neck.
yeah, I pulled those scriptures out for you. Yes, oh yes, it says that. It says that. See, it says love thy neighbor, right? But the revenge is the people put the yoke on your neck. The people who some people just ain't gonna be tamed. So I mean, you can love them, but if they keep on getting you down, then
Hmm.
revenge. In the Bible it says, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come." He said, "Thy kingdom come." He talking about his kingdom coming. That means he ain't sharing it with nobody else.
Mm.
He ain't sharing it with the Chinese or the people over here or the U.S. kingdom. He talking about his kingdom come. So that means he gonna have to get rid of some people. So I
Mm.
mean, just a little sentence is revenge. That kingdom come subtly. I mean, he's not going.
God is
Hey,
not the one to play with.
hey, come on, y'all. Hey, come on in. No, he said, "Thy kingdom come," and then
That will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
and then what he said, "Thy kingdom come." Who kingdom? His kingdom. He ain't come. He ain't
Yeah,
say he come to
thy.
share it. He ain't say he come to share it.
God ain't
He,
no joke. I'm telling
yeah.
you.
Uh-huh. So yeah. So yeah. Yep. Love thy neighbors.
With that being said, we're over the hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and transition into our last topic because we talked about so many hot topics and exciting things that's going on in the world, and just putting our minds together to come up with resolutions for all of these issues that we have here on planet Earth. So, I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and lighten it up a little bit before we conclude for tonight and talk about one of my favorite topics because, and I'm a fan of boxing, and Mayweather and Paul will be fighting Sunday, June 6th, live on pay per view. And we will be watching because I have
Oh
to watch
yeah.
the fight. I love to watch fights. That's just me. U.S. Army veteran. Who?
Who? Who?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play briefly of the press conference that he had with Logan Paul. He got into it with his brother Jake Paul. So let's just check this out, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead and conclude for tonight. One
Okay.
moment. Oh, they want to play a commercial.
Oh. You know,
Okay.
you say he got into it with his brother, huh?
Yep, over a hat. Watch this.
Oh man. Oh, he took his hat off.
Mayweather was not playing.
Oh, he was not playing, man.
Look at the bodyguards. I like that outfit Mayweather had on that those Miami colors because this was in Miami, Florida.
I like. Oh, Mayweather got the SMA. I like that. Short man awareness. He started getting on him, boy.
Yeah, he owned them too.
Yeah, buddy. Dynamite. Over a hat.
Oh, the hype is real for this fight. I'm so excited and so ready to watch this June 6th. We will be having a private
June 6th.
June 6th, Sunday. We will be having our own
Mm,
private boxing party to watch this. So I'm so excited.
mm. Yeah. I, um, well, I think Mayweather, he's out of that guy's league, man.
Well,
Mayweather is a
he is a
champ.
professional. So this guy is
Right. That
just
guy,
a YouTube star. He fought
oh, his
one
brother, son.
fight with a guy from the NBA and beat him. Mayweather is 50 and
Right. Yeah.
0.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
never been defeated.
He's
And this
1-0.
guy is just starting to
1-0.
box. So, you know.
Yeah. He had one fight and he won 1-0.
Yeah. One
Yeah. So yeah.
knockout,
So
one fight.
Mayweather's over his league.
Oh, he's a professional. He's been doing this for years. So it's nothing
So
for
it's
him
probably a
to
money
worry
grab.
about. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
it's gonna be in the basket for him. He has this one.
Hmm.
But I'm excited to see it because I'm like
Me
big on
too. Me too.
fights.
I like boxing.
But yeah.
Yeah. I like boxing, man. I'd rather box than shoot them up, bang, bang. But people don't want to do that no more. They want to
You
shoot.
sure right about that.
No, man. I want to box. They want to shoot. Come on, man.
That's the way it was back in the days, fighting. But then as
Hmm.
time went by and guns was created, that went out the door.
Hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this show for tonight. With my infamous quote. I always got to do that in the closing, and then we'll say our final words, and that'll be it for tonight.
All right.
So my quote for tonight's show is: Life has many ways of testing a person's will, either by having nothing happen at all or by having everything happen all at once. And that's by Paulo Shallow. So
Mm.
I think it's true. If you think about it, most of the time you either are waiting around for things to happen or you're dealing with 100 things all at one time. So that's how it is with some people experiences, and some people experiences, nothing's happening at all. What do you think?
I think that um, a lot of stuff's happening or nothing happening at all. I think that you have to, if you have a lot, you have to, whatever you're doing, if you have a lot of things going on, your job is to manage those things. You have to manage your life. So
Yes.
if you have a lot of things going on, you need to cut back or manage that thing. Financial life. If you financial life, I'm not saying over you can do it overnight, but that is your goal to manage your life. If you manage your life, I think you'll
Hmm.
win the human race. So you have to manage. You can't let, oh man, I got this, I can't do that. You can't bite off more than you can chew. Sit back and manage it. Study it a little bit. But the goal is to, if you manage your life, then you have won. Then you probably won't have too many regrets or none at all. And that's the
I agree
problem.
with that because I'm all about balance. That's just me. I'm so big on that. And it's so
And I'm learning.
important for me to be
I'm
able
trying to
to
learn that.
manage and balance and not be overwhelmed and have time for myself in the self love that I've always been talking about. What's so important for us to have. It goes along with balance and spirituality. And like you said, hey, if this is your life, learn how to manage that. Financial wise, mentally, spiritually, emotionally.
Right. Take a
Yeah,
step back. Don't listen to
that's right.
people. Make your own. Go slow until you get it. Because if you listen to them, it might not be the right idea. Or even if you hear something, research it. You got to manage your life because nobody else is going to manage it for you. And your parents can manage it for a little while, but you got to go. You have to go out into the world. Yeah. Hmm.
That's true, Mr. Bright. And thank you once again.
Can I
Did
give
you
a?
have any other final words before we close out tonight?
Oh yeah, sure. I want to give a little summary. I want to talk about.
Okay.
I guess the cell phone. A little summary on that. Well, back in the day, right? Way back in the day, we had cavemen, and the cavemen used to protect themselves and their families, and they carried a stick around in their hands, and they would never ever put that stick down. Just because in case of a snake come around, animal or something else, which that stick was useful at that time. Everybody carried a stick. It's very useful. So today, you don't have no stick no more. It's modern, more modern. So today, that stick will be your cell phone. So I don't see any difference between a stick being useful than a cell phone. I don't see any difference right there. And I feel that the cell phone is like that stick with it's what you used to have back in the day. And so what you have to do is be conscious about the cell phone. And you use it to protect you. You use it to call. You use it for what it's made for. And you put it in your pocket, and you have to be conscious. Don't play too many games on it. Don't overspend your time on it. That's on you. Just like that stick, you got to keep that stick. If it get broken, you go get another stick. So with the cell phone, you use it in the modern times today as a stick, but you use it to protect yourself. You use it to, all the stuff you can do on it, but you just can't mismanage it and go overboard because you won't be managing your time. And you have to manage your time in order to be productive. Use that cell phone to help you to speed up things, to manage your life better. And so it's up to you. And you have to teach your children, You just can't let your children go with the cell phone. You have to monitor that and teach them how to use it. Like I say, it's the human race, man, and if you want to win, you have to manage that cell phone because it is helpful. The cell phone is helpful, and with the radiation and all that stuff like that, or seeing you through the cameras or things of that nature, well, you just have to use it in moderation, and put it down and have it put in some other area though. But you have to manage that. And yeah, that's what I want to say on that. I had something else I forgot I wanted to say.
That's
Uh,
okay. Those
that's
are
about it.
great final words to conclude our episode for tonight. So I appreciate you in your research and co-hosting this show for Bryant Wright Consulting LLC for the show.
All right. Oh yeah, that
All
is
right.
great.
So this is gonna conclude our episode for tonight. Everyone, make sure you tune in to our next episode and gameplays on Twitch TV. Make sure you follow and subscribe. Check us out on all of our social media platforms. Follow, subscribe, keep track of us there. Make sure you check us out on www.bryantbright.com. It's our website where you can find everything, even a copy of these shows. So, this concludes our episode for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And thank you, Mr. Bright, for co hosting and tuning in tonight with us also.
You're
And have a
welcome. You're
great
welcome.
night.
Good night,
You're
everybody.
welcome. Good night.